Airports are filled with secrets that most passengers will never even realize. Every corner of the airport is designed to steer your behavior without you noticing. But once you know what to look for, you'll start to spot the hidden secrets built into every trip. From sneaky surveillance tricks to why you are better off eating on the plane instead of airports. These are the 15 airport secrets no traveler should miss. And in Chapter 5, we'll bust one of the biggest myths in air travel. Let's go. You step off the escalator after security, grab a coffee, check your gate. But guess what? The airport might still be watching. Many major hubs now use facial recognition software to quietly track you from checkpoint to gate. Your face gets scanned at security, then matched with your boarding info as you move through the terminal. No beeping, no alert, just quiet tracking, all in the name of efficiency. While it's pitched as a way to speed up boarding and tighten security, it also means you're being monitored long before you reach your seat. Normally, checking a bag costs you extra, but in some cases, the airline will actually do it for free, and thank you for it. Here's the trick. Listen closely at the gate. If they announce a full flight or limited overhead space, they'll often offer to check carry-on bags at no charge. Why? Because it speeds up boarding. Fewer bags in the cabin means less chaos in the aisle, and that's worth something to them. So if you're not picky about keeping your bag with you, this is a smart way to dodge fees without lifting a finger. Just make sure you remove your essentials before handing it over, because while it's a freebie, it's still going in the cargo hold. Duty-free sounds like a deal. No tax, great price, not so fast. Most travelers assume duty-free equals cheaper, but it often doesn't. In fact, items like candy, perfume, and liquor can actually cost more at the airport than at regular stores back home. And here's the kicker. If you've got a connecting flight, your sealed duty-free bag might get confiscated at the next security checkpoint. Some airports still follow the liquid rule, even for duty-free items. So, yeah, double-check the fine print, because tax-free doesn't always mean savings. Sometimes it just means trap. Airport food is expensive, like $18 sandwich and sad fruit cup expensive. But here's something most travelers don't realize. Eating on board might actually save you money. If you have the airline's credit card, you could get up to 25% off snacks and drinks in the air. And even without a card, the prices on board are sometimes lower than what you'll pay at the food court. So before you drop half your meal budget on a soggy wrap and bottled water, check your wallet and the in-flight menu. Sometimes the smartest meal is the one served at 35,000 feet. Arrive 2 hours early. It's the golden rule of air travel, right? Well, here's the twist. That rule benefits the airport more than it benefits you. Sure, some giant hubs need extra time, but for many airports, showing up early just means one thing. You're more likely to spend. Once you're through security, you've entered the golden hour. That's when travelers are the most bored, the most relaxed, and honestly, the most ready to buy. Coffee, snacks, books, gadgets, even luxury goods. So yes, give yourself a cushion. But just know, those extra minutes aren't just about safety. They're about shopping. You get to the gate, it's packed, overhead bins are full, and somehow, you don't have a seat. Welcome to Overbooking, the airline hustle they never really talk about. Airlines sell more tickets than there are seats on the plane. Why? Because they know some people won't show up. They've got data, algorithms, years of trends backing them up. But when everyone shows up, that's when passengers get bumped. And suddenly, your confirmed seat becomes, "We're so sorry, sir. It's legal, it's calculated, and it's all about squeezing every last dollar out of every flight." Nobody wants to talk about it, but yes, people sometimes pass away mid-flight. So what happens if it does? Do they announce it? Nope. Airlines use secret code words to keep things calm. Phrases like Jim Wilson or Operation Sunrise might sound harmless to us, but to the crew, they signal a very serious situation. It's all about avoiding panic and handling things discreetly. So if you ever hear something that sounds oddly formal over the intercom, you might be hearing a quiet emergency in progress. Ever notice how you suddenly slow down in the security line? No, it's not just your heavy carry-on. It's the carpet. Airports use something called cognitive friction. They switch the flooring from tile to soft carpet on purpose. Why? Because the change messes with your brain just enough to make you walk slower and calmer. It's subtle. But slower passengers are easier to control, screen, and move through checkpoints. It's not about comfort, it's behavioral design. So next time you shuffle across that plush hallway, remember, you're not just walking, you're being managed. You think the worst part of airports is the wait or the crowds. But what about the air you're breathing? Major airports often have air quality worse than downtown traffic. All that jet fuel, diesel ground equipment, and constant takeoffs release heavy pollutants, especially nitrogen dioxide, into the terminal atmosphere. And here's the kicker. These pollution levels regularly exceed safe limits. Even inside the terminal, you're still breathing in trace chemicals. It's not enough to cancel your flight, but it's one more reason to stay hydrated, move around, and maybe skip standing near the idling shuttle buses. Because just sitting at your gate might mean inhaling a little more than just that overpriced pretzel scent. We all know airports are noisy. But did you know that constant noise could actually damage your health? Studies show that living near an airport raises your risk of heart problems, especially at night. It's not the flights themselves, it's the noise pollution. Late-night takeoffs and landings disrupt your sleep, spike your stress levels, and can lead to long-term issues like high blood pressure. Even if you get used to the sound, your body doesn't. So if your house is in the flight path, you might want to invest in blackout curtains and, serious earplugs. You just cleared security. You're hot, tired, and your water bottle's empty. You spot a fountain and think, free hydration. Hold up, that fountain could be nastier than a gas station bathroom. Studies show many airport water fountains go weeks without a proper cleaning. We're talking mold, bacteria, biofilm, the works. And hundreds of travelers touch that button every single day. So if you're thirsty, buy the overpriced water. Yes, it's a ripoff, but at least it's not trying to infect you. Your immune system will thank you when you land. You check your bag, wave it goodbye, and assume it's just going on a ride to the plane. But before it joins the pile of suitcases, your luggage goes on a solo high-tech mission. It passes through an explosive detection system with scanners powerful enough to make Superman blush. These machines inspect everything, not just what's visible, but what's inside your items too. And it happens fast. Advanced imaging, chemical sniffers, shape analysis, you name it. All before your bag even sees the conveyor belt. Don't worry, it's not judging your souvenir choices. It's just making sure your socks aren't hiding something dangerous. You're at the airport, you need cash, and there's an ATM right next to your gate. Super convenient, right? Not exactly. Those airport ATMs are money traps. They're notorious for sky-high fees, terrible exchange rates, and enough sneaky fine print to make your wallet cry. In some cases, you could lose 10% or more on a single withdrawal. And if you're using a foreign card, even worse. Here's the fix. Always withdraw cash before you get to the airport, or use your credit card for purchases once inside, because that quick cash grab could cost you way more than you expect. You settle into your seat. The tray table looks wiped. The seatbelt clicks. All seems clean, right? Not even close. Airplanes are basically flying Petri dishes. Hundreds of people from all over the world, breathing, sneezing, touching everything. And between flights, most planes get a quick surface wipe, not a full scrub down. The deep clean? Once a month, maybe. That tray table you're eating off could be dirtier than a public restroom stall. So pack sanitizing wipes. Wipe down your seatbelt, armrests, and tray before you settle in, because what you don't see might stick with you. Ever wonder what happens to bags that never get claimed? They don't just sit in a dusty back room forever. Eventually, those lonely suitcases go to auction. Yes, really, airport auctions are a thing. After a certain amount of time, unclaimed luggage is sold off to the highest bidder. No one opens them first. No one checks what's inside. It's like a giant game of mystery box. You could end up with designer clothes, old flip-flops, or a taxidermy iguana. You never know. So if you ever check a bag, just remember, if it gets lost long enough, your suitcase might become someone else's surprise treasure. You've seen them. Those quiet airport lounges with plush chairs, free snacks, and peaceful vibes. You probably thought, must be nice, but that's not for me. Here's the secret. You don't need to be a millionaire or a frequent flyer elite. Many lounges offer day passes for a small fee, and some credit cards, even ones with no annual fee, include free access. You just have to know where to look. Instead of sitting by a noisy gate with a $5 coffee and nowhere to charge your phone, you could be sipping free cappuccino in a reclining chair. So next time you have a long layover, ask if your credit card or airline app unlocks a lounge. Because honestly, you do deserve a little peace before takeoff. Ever landing here, ladies and gentlemen? We've arrived early? Feels like a win, right? Well, not exactly. You've just been played by one of the oldest airline tricks in the book-padded flight times. Airlines often add extra minutes or even hours to their schedules. That way, even if your flight's running late, it still looks like it arrived on time. Or early. It's all about on-time performance stats. They look good, you feel good, and nobody complains. So next time you celebrate that early landing, just remember, you probably weren't early. They just told you that so you wouldn't notice the wait. You're cruising at 35,000 feet. All seems calm in the cockpit. But here's the twist. Your pilot might be asleep. And no, it's not a disaster. It's actually standard procedure on long-haul flights. Pilots take turns resting in hidden compartments or reclined seats, while the co-pilot or autopilot keeps things running smoothly. It's all tightly regulated and perfectly legal. In fact, well-rested pilots make for safer flights. Would you rather have your captain sleep now or nod off during landing? So don't panic. If the pilot's napping, that just means they're doing their job right. Ever see a plane take off with almost no passengers on board? It's not your imagination. That was a ghost flight. Why would an airline fly an empty plane? It all comes down to airport slot rules. Airlines must use their scheduled takeoff and landing slots or risk losing them to competitors. So instead of canceling flights, they'll sometimes fly an empty jet just to keep that valuable time slot active. It's costly, inefficient, and bizarre. But to the airline, it's worth it in the long run. So if you ever feel like the only one at the gate, you might just be stepping onto a plane. That's flying to nowhere, on purpose. You've just landed. The seatbelt sign dings off, everyone rushes to the aisle, and then straight to the nearest bathroom at arrivals. Here's the problem. That bathroom? It's the busiest, dirtiest, and most stressful one in the entire airport. Every passenger from your flight and a few before are all trying to use it. There's a line out the door, paper towels everywhere, and no peace in sight. But here's a smarter move. Keep walking. Just head a little deeper into the terminal. You'll find quieter bathrooms that are cleaner, emptier, and actually stocked. It's a simple switch, but it turns that post-flight chaos into a much more civilized experience. So skip the stampede. Your bladder can wait 60 more seconds. Your dignity will thank you.